your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Welcome to Cosmic Kick with your host, Adrian Wentworth. Get ready to have your illusions broken and your consciousness expanded. Now here's Adrian to give you that Cosmic Kick.
Greetings, all of you sincere seekers of light and truth. I'm here again today to speak with you about twin flames, soulmates, and spiritual relationships. Now, for those of you who tried tuning in last week to hear the show, there were some problems, and it was very difficult for you to hear me in the second portion of the show. So I'm going to try to make this show fresh, because I really can't repeat myself. So every time I speak about a subject, I always speak a little bit different. So go ahead, if you haven't heard that show, it's still in the archives, but the second portion is very difficult, and bless you all for trying to hear that. So, twin flames, soulmates, and relationships. Today, it is more important than ever before to understand these different types of spiritual relationships. For as we continue to grow, as we continue to shift our vibration, it is a natural occurrence to start to draw in these higher, I'm going to say, only because of vibration, higher vibration relationships. And when they come your way, they can shake your world. And, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do with this? Some of you are going, oh, Adrian, we'd love to have that experience. Let me tell you, it can be a rocky ride. Now, first of all, a twin flame. We have so many preconceived ideas because of things that we've read or things that we've been told by other teachers or just things that have been ingrained in us from other times that it's very difficult to open up to new concepts. And I am the queen of new concepts. I'm constantly challenging people to open up and look at things in another way, only because I myself had to do this. And it wasn't easy. It's just, it's so hard to get us to get past those old belief systems, those old ingrained programs that we have. One of the greatest illusions is that when a twin flame comes along, it's this instant attraction and your energies just come together, woo, and you live happily ever after in bliss. I have never seen this happen. In all of my years of working with people and dealing with all kinds of relationships, the most challenging relationships are the twin flame, the very spiritual relationships. Now, let me explain what I have learned over the course of many, many years of exploration. I'm a spiritual explorer, constantly exploring other realms. And again, it all comes back to that original purpose and goal of mine was, how are we able to manifest with our physical forms? Why can't we do this as we're told we could? And I keep going back to that because that has been the impetus, the motivation, the push for my whole journey. And obviously it's because it's something I came here to do. And so when I first started exploring about twin flames, it wasn't because, I'm really interested in this. All I was interested in is, again, what do I have to do to be able to, first of all, fully connect with source energy, with God's energy, and be able to bring it back into my vehicle, my physical body, as well as my other energy vehicles, and be able to use that energy to help others and to help the earth, and of course to help myself. And so when the twin flame issues came along, I was like, oh, please, don't tell me I have to deal with this, because relationships, they can be tough. And when we first come into an earth life, an incarnation, we have many contracts with people that we need to connect with and able to learn and to free up, to get our power back from, our energy back from, or just because there was unfulfilled desire between us. I didn't get to be with you. Now I want to try to be with you and see what that was like. So the first part of the life is usually spent drawing in and experiencing karmic relationships. And after you've moved through some of those heavier karmic relationships and you start to grow and wake up spiritually, you will start to now realize that, oh, there is more for me. There is more for me to experience, but it doesn't necessarily have to be negative, heavy karma. We have also good karmic relationships. And this means drawing in those who have a great understanding of who you are, who say, oh, I respect you, I know you from the past, I am loyal to you, I would never hurt you, I will support you as I know you will do to me. In other words, it is a mutual understanding between two. Now, this comes into the idea of soul mate, someone who is your mate, someone you have traveled many lifetimes together, and you trust these people. You trust them. They know who you are. It's an understood relationship. Oh, you are always of integrity. You are kind. You are loving. You will always be there for me when I need you. Supportive relationship. Now, the first ones you get, again, are usually the heavies. The heavies, like, the abusive relationships that you need to work through and get your power back. And then, all of a sudden, you can start drawing in good soulmates. And that's basically what that term means, soulmate. Someone who is of like mind, who is loyal to you, you trust them. You could maybe trust them with your life. You know that they will always be there for you when you need them. And this is very, very, very comforting, especially if they are on the same page with you spiritually. In other words, they are interested in learning and growing, and they're interested in the same ways of learning and growing that you are. They make very, very good partners. And you can start to draw in these good soulmates. Now, a soulmate is not necessarily the twin flame experience, though. And let me explain a little bit about twin flame. In order to understand what twin flames truly are, you have to understand the anatomy of the soul. Now, and I've spoken to this before, but again, new concepts, you have to hear them many, many times before they start to break through some of the rigid thinking we have about things and set ways of thinking. So with the anatomy of the soul, remembering that when we came out of the source of all, of God's energy, we came out in bursts, just bursts of energy, and there was many of us that came out at the same time. And those that have come out at the same time as us and out of the same place within the source are considered soul family. Oh yes, we're very similar in vibration, at least in our origin. In the very beginning, we were similar. Now when you meet them, there can be a lot of differences because we've all had different type of experiences. And sometimes we've also gotten stuck in limited types of energies that are holding us. But in the very beginning, we resonated together. Now, our high self holds the place within the source, our individual place where we have come out of the source. That's our high self connection. And within that high self, it's as if the soul is like a nucleus. It's like this nucleus within the high self that can come and go from high self, and it stays connected from high self through a beautiful ray of light. It's like a connection to come and go, come back and forth from the source. Now, what has occurred? Now, first of all, before I get into what happened to us to split the souls, and I strongly believe that God did not split our souls. We do carry within this nucleus, within high self, we carry what I call counterpart aspects, a male aspect and a female aspect that are literally joined together as you would see the yin-yang symbol. And it sits beautifully, these two aspects, within our high self. Now, in order to fully connect with source energy, we have to have these connections with the male and female energies of God. Now remember that the souls are just little pieces of God consciousness, but made in the same image. And we've heard this throughout. Those of us who grew up Catholic and remember studying the Catechism, we're made in the image and likeness of God. And we repeated that like parrots without really even thinking about what that really meant. And so in other words, at our core, at our origin, we are imprinted with feminine, masculine, positive, negative charge to create as God does. But of course, we're just one little tiny pinpoint, just a pinpoint within the source. But we have that potential. And that's how we stay connected, within high self. That cannot be disturbed. That is pure and safe. Anything within the Godhead is safe and protected. But the soul has come out of that to experience. So it's like taking a little embryo out and saying, "Ooh, I'm brand new, and I'm going to create a being, a soul." And I won't even get into that. Oh my gosh, you could have created other levels of existence at the same time. That's a whole nother talk. But let's try to keep it simple today, if you consider this simple information. And so the soul comes out like a little embryo and starts to experience and form all of these energies around it. The spiritual energy body is there and evolves according to the experiences that the soul has, as well as then a mental body was created as we started to evolve, and then we started to also evolve into having a feeling, emotional body, which led finally to a physical form over the course of many, many incarnations, many existences. Now, I've talked about how as young and naive souls, we did things. We experimented and played in ways that we distorted our energy in how we created ego and darkness, dark energy, which we fed and played in many ways. And that's another whole subject that I've already spoken to you about. And if you haven't heard that one, just go back into the archives and find it. And I'll continue my story after these messages.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrian Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrian Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Everybody is thinking green these days, but green is not just an environmental state of mind, it's a healthier state of being. It's the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the structures we live and work in. It's not the dollars that we're spending, but how we spend those dollars. Are we consciously making informed decisions? Join host Connie McCullough as she explores healthier living by choice. Living Green, Healthier by Choice airs live on the Seventh Wave Network every Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Tune in for the challenge of a lifetime, a challenge for greener, healthier living.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened Media for a transforming world. Seventh Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrian your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth.
Welcome back. I'm speaking to you about the anatomy of the soul and how it became split into two. And as I was saying, we fell into darkness. And as darkness evolved, and that first formed being out of darkness, named Lucifer, and some people like to think of Lucifer as their own ego self, their own shadow self, because we all played within this energy. But Lucifer found ways to enter our energy system. And one thing that was done is the soul was split into two but not into a male soul and a female soul. It was split. If you can think of looking at your body and slicing, and this is kind of not a nice visual, but slicing right down the center, so you have like half a male and half a female. And we often consider the left side of our body manifest female, feminine issues, and the right side masculine, male issues. So slicing right down the middle, so you have like half male, half female, half male, half female. Now, I'm telling you this again in almost like a story to help you understand, because obviously these things were done over long periods of time. And as all of the dimensions became entangled and distorted, it became almost very easy for this to occur, for us to split off from each other. So it wasn't just that we were taken in and to the table saw and just, sliced up. Not like that at all. It happened slowly, so slowly that we didn't even know what was occurring. And we were literally programmed against each other. And this is why there is still such a power struggle going on among the sexes, and has been through so many years. So just let your mind wrap around this for a moment, that, okay, the souls were split, but they still are connected to the same ray. And as they start to experience separate existences and have different types of experiences and get connected into other types of energies, they get pulled in many different ways and far away from each other. And as this happens, here the ray of light also gets very pulled and separated and frayed, until now you still have the same high self, but now you have two frayed rays of light connecting in. Now why would this be done to us? To keep us from being able to have power to create. And Lucifer and dark forces, what they have been after since day one, is to get into our energy systems and use our energy to create. Because, again, only God's energy can create. But once we take it within us, it can be distorted, as we did in the very beginning. We distorted it ourselves, and now there are great brotherhoods, huge dimensions of darkness that draw on our energy and try to keep us powerless and separate. Because if we come back together and heal, and again we have full connection to source energy, but now we also have the wisdom and the knowledge to know how to use it, we're going to do something powerful on this planet. We're going to reclaim her. We're going to reclaim our power as God beings, and we are going to right all of the wrongdoing on this planet. Wow, that's quite a mouthful. So that's what happened to the souls. And so now, because we are shifting and we're working so hard on connecting back to source and healing, as I say, back to God. In other words, healing everything within us that keeps us separate, and then working to change and shift our systems so they once again can be healthy and whole and able to bring in source energy to manifest with. What happens is now there's a natural occurrence of drawing back to you everything that was yours to start with, which means you're going to draw people to you who are holding your energy, perhaps took a lot of energy from you in the past, and that's why you're vulnerable to them. I've seen this over and over with people who come to me for healing. They're like, I am just obsessed with this person. It's not even a nice person, but I can't stop wanting to be with them, and I let them take advantage of me. I don't understand this. Oftentimes, the person who is abusing is holding so much of your energy. You're just automatically drawn to it. You can't help but want to be with that person. They're holding your energy within you. And then comes the battle as you start to get your power back. And this is what has happened throughout the ages. Then there's this battle of, all right, I'm going to get power over you before you can get power over me. And again, dark forces are laughing. Ha, ha, ha. You guys, now you're just falling into a new level of separation. So as we heal, it's natural to need to experience these other relationships that are perhaps good karmic relationships, but also twin flame relationships may come back into your life because there's a lot of healing that needs to be done. Now, to be in full power, I've said this over and over, you need to have full connection. That means if you have a system that has half male and half female, you need to connect with someone else who is of like vibration, who can complete that circuitry and be the other half male, half female. When this occurs, it's like this beautiful vortex of energy that then can be much more powerful on the planet. And now you can fully experience God's energy here on Earth. It doesn't have to be the original twin flame. And oftentimes, you're going to find that you have better alignment with a soul family member who's been out doing their work, experiencing, and now you've come back together again, and you recognize each other and go, oh, there you are. Hey, how about if we do this together? Because we both have been working on our spiritual growth. We both understand it. And guess what? Our twin flames have been down there in a hole somewhere, stuck. And if I bring them back in, it's going to be nothing but a drag on my line. This happens a lot, where the twin flames come back together at a deep level. There is this powerful energy attraction, and yet the relationship often doesn't work because they are not at the same places with their personal and spiritual growth. And then what happens is the one who has been growing feels very responsible to try to pull the other person up, keep trying and trying and trying. And the other person, the other half of the soul, the twin flame, may be taking advantage of that and drawing on the more evolved twin flame and using their energy, and sometimes in very distorted, negative ways. It can be that both have been working and evolving, and they come back together, and it's beautiful, and it's magic, and it is the happy ever after. And after 25 years, that is the exception. What I have seen work most is coming back together with a soul family member who is of like vibration, connecting, and then after a period of attunement, think of each person as being like a tuning attunement where you really start to tune into each other's vibration. Of course, we have to break right at this really interesting part. I'll be right back.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrienne Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrienne Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Enlightenment and ascension brings love and joy into your life. Now you can experience the wisdom, humor, and healing of the Ascended Masters as they are channeled through clairvoyant healer Janae Serio. Each week, the Ascended Masters will focus on topics that touch and bring healing to your life, relationships, career, and serve to open your heart to be the best person you can be. Tune in to Tools for Ascension with clairvoyant Janae Serio every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the 7th Wave Network.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened Media for a transforming world. Seventh Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrienne Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrienne your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrienne Wentworth.
Welcome back. I'm talking about coming together with a soul family member and being like two tuning forks, that your high selves are now working together because nothing is ever done without agreement. Both high selves are saying, yes, these two will work well together. Let's work to attune them together in such a way that they will be in such alignment that they can become like twin flame energies and connect and have full power here on Earth. Now you have just opened yourself up to many, many possibilities, because when you came out of the source, you didn't come out alone. You came out with a large family of beings. And some of you are going, well, you know, I've been sitting here empty for a really long time, Adrienne. I don't see anybody knocking at my door. Well, you have to first of all open up and start to draw them in. And so much healing needs to be done around relationship. So often the heart is so armored. It is just so protected because of all of the hurt that we've had, not only with each other in relationship, but also because of the misconceptions we have about God not being there for us. And so all of these issues need to be brought to the forefront and explored, released. And a mantra that will help you heal your heart is the Krishna mantra. And that mantra is Om Kleem Krishnaye Namaha. Om Kleem Krishnaye Namaha. Om Kleem Krishnaye Namaha. This is a beautiful mantra to help the heart again open to divine love. And you can consider beautiful spiritual relationships as just pieces of divine love, very, very, very symbolic of God's love for us, as well as helping you now unarmor. Take that armoring away and sit with that mantra and see it within your heart center. And you can visualize perhaps a flower of your choice that is opening in whatever color looks beautiful to you and right to you, and just vibrate that Krishna mantra over and over and over. It's very powerful to do a mantra for 108 repetitions. And you can do this with mala beads, which are like prayer beads that you just kind of use in your hand, or you can just count on your fingers, or you can just do it until you feel like, okay, that's enough for today. But it's consistent, working with something consistently. You can't just do it once or twice and go, oh, nothing happened. No, you've got to do mantras over and over and over for them to really start to unfold within you. Om Kleem Krishnaye Namaha. Now, I see also many people who are unhappy in relationship and have just settled because, I hear, he takes care of me and I don't have to worry about finances, or I'm afraid that if I let go of this relationship, there won't be anyone else for me and I'll be alone. And I have to tell you that when you start to really awaken and shift your vibration, you often shift past the people in your life. In other words, it gets harder and harder to connect to them in the same way, and it feels like there's this big gap between you. And you can be so lonely in relationship. And this happens not only with partners, but it also happens with friends, where all of a sudden you can't connect with your friends the same way. And you lose friends. They just start going, we don't know who you are anymore, and actually we're not really even interested in finding out. And with partners, they sometimes start to live these separate lives, and it's so sad and lonely. And why? Well, because we said we would. And again, that we made our bed, we're going to lay in it, or, we're staying together for the children. And one thing that, being that I'm a mother of 6 children, and I have been married, this is my 3rd marriage, but this is the good one, right? I have taught my kids that you do not stay in dysfunctional situations. If you grow past a relationship, it is kinder to free that other person so they can find someone of like vibration to be with also. And you're never going to run out of people to be with. Oh, my goodness. We have been around so much, had so many incarnations, and know so many beings, and now the world is so small. In other words, we can connect with people like that in all parts of the world. We can draw them to us. We can travel and find them. It's easy now. It's not like it was in the old days where you lived is where you lived, and all you could draw on are the group of people who were around you. No, it's very easy, and also now there are many, many soul family members coming into the planet now to be with you. I've spoken to you about your extraterrestrial families and how sometimes there's one who has come here and has been, bringing in the energies and holding certain energies for the entire group. And now it's time to bring some of them here so you have help and so you can stay grounded through this next period of upheaval that is coming. It's already here. That is going to become more and more intense. And what Spirit has now said, and again, I've known this for years and years and years, but now it's actually happening, where there are many in Spirit who are finding their way into the planet, finding people who will open up and accept certain aspects of their energy, that counterpart aspect I spoke with you of in the very beginning. You're going to have to do a rewind, like, wait a minute. Remember I was saying that there's this beautiful male and female counterpart aspects within the high self. An aspect can come down and through and find a vehicle, a soul, who will accept that aspect in. And then, with that counterpart energy within them, they will attract the other person, the other counterpart energy, and it will come together and feel as if you are twin flames. Only the relationship can be very, very special because of the attunement, the attuning that you've done to reach to this point. So in other words, if you've been working, and I know I get ahead of myself, but gosh, there's a lot to say on these subjects. When you've been working very hard and you've connected with your high self, and it's time for you to draw in a spiritual partner, you will bring in, if you are in a female body, you will bring in that female counterpart high self aspect into your body. And then your high selves will find either the twin flame, because that's still, I know obviously you can tell I've had some kind of negative experiences with twin flame, but I'm not being colored by that. It's just what I've seen over all of the years. But then the high self will find a soul family member who will accept the male counterpart high self aspect and bring it into their physical form, and now you're going to come together and it's going to feel just like you are a God being on earth in physical form. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, exquisite feelings. And yes, drawn to each other, but also staying separate. In other words, not just fully coming back together. No, two empowered beings that connect at the heart. And I tell people all of the time that two pillars can support more than one. So two empowered beings coming together now that can connect at all levels and share. Oh, it is so nice. And feel comfortable and confident in the support support that you give to each other. Now, can it be, I know I can see some of your minds going, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I want you also to know that I have this lecture on CD or cassette tape that I've done 4 years ago, and we were listening to it yesterday in the car when we were driving, and my son, who is 17, said, "Oh, Mom, that's when you were in your stage." And I'll be back after these messages.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrian Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrian Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Whether you're a baby boomer, a post-baby boomer, or a young up-and-coming, we can guide your stride. Host Cindy Spear will enlighten, educate, and entice you, our listener, to realize that you are in control of your life. No longer will the economy, media, employers, neighbors, or relatives, not even the dog, come between you and your unlimited potential. Tune in to Baby Boomers of Today. Where do we go from here? Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific on the Seventh Wave Network.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened Media for a transforming world. Seventh Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrian your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth.
Welcome back. This is Adrian Wentworth, and I'm speaking to you about twin flames, soulmates, and counterpart energies. And as I was saying before the break, it's a complex subject, and many of the things I'm bringing to you are new ideas, new concepts that are maybe challenging for you. And you know what happens when something new first hits you? There's just like this shutting down. It's like, gosh, I didn't even hear that. And the reason why is because it's just so overwhelming. And then sometimes you need to hear it again, and you can kind of start to bring it in and process it. And it may take 3, 4, 10 times before you can really, really start to open to a new concept and then analyze it, discern it, and decide what is truth for you. And that's why I have all of my lectures on tapes and of course, old technology, cassettes. And one of the, why I'm bringing this up is because every time I speak, I also do guided meditations to help open to whatever type help we're trying to get, in this case, in order to help draw in spiritual relationships. So along with the information and the lecturing, there are beautiful, beautiful guided meditations. So during the show, I'm giving you like little mantras here and there, but if you want more help in, guidance in sitting down and working with them, go to my website, www.CreaseTheResources.com, and look under products and services, and you'll see all of these different lecture tapes, and even some of them will be in my stage. But hey, the information is good, and the meditations are wonderful because I am a meditation teacher. I am a spiritual teacher and healer. And so I do beautiful guided meditations that are very, very powerful. So as I was saying, so often you have to do some healing in order to bring in. You'll start to do some mantras and you'll say nothing's happening. But what's happening is what is stirring within you is everything you need to heal in order to open to a spiritual relationship. And again, if you want one, you can have one. There's no excuse for sitting empty. Not at all. And so not only is it some of the issues, like I said, the old hurt, the old mistrust because of past relationships, but there's also, when you're already in a relationship, there's a lot of issues around guilt and beliefs about, this is what I should do. It's wrong to switch relationships. And I also hear, I don't want to have to start over. I'm reminding you again, we are here to learn and experience. It isn't about playing it safe and holding on to security, because I have news for you. If you think you're going to be secure, the only way you're going to be secure in the coming times is by being an empowered being, knowing that it doesn't matter what happens in your external world, you will always be able to provide and survive. In other words, provide everything you need for you and your loved ones, and survive and thrive, I like to say. In other words, and still enjoy life. And we don't enjoy life so much when we are alone. And so Spirit has been urging over and over and over, get a good spiritual partner now. Draw in someone who you can be with and experience this God union here on earth. And then you're not going to be so stuck on, I think I'll leave the planet. Life is too hard. I hear this all the time from spiritual beings. Once you have that here, there's no place to go. Why? Now you get to experience being with God energy here in physical form. How exciting is that? Next week, I'm going to talk to you about death and dying. But for now, and to help you understand why so many people are leaving the planet and what you can do to help, and to examine your own contracts about what you decided you were going to do, because there's also many exit points coming up right now, which are times when you have choice to leave the planet, go back to Spirit, or stay. Now, because there are a lot that are choosing to leave, there are also those who are willing to walk in to their bodies, take over their karmas, and continue, so they also can be with you. Woohoo! You're going, okay, now you've really stretched me. No, this is happening, and it's happening a lot now. Now, in order to help you draw in a spiritual relationship, there are some sacred sounds that you can use concentrating at the soul area, the seat of your soul, which is a little to the right of your heart center, about the size of your thumb. And those sounds are Om Karimba Namaha. Om Karimba Namaha. Om Karimba Namaha. And this activates a little mechanism within the soul that starts to send out a signal from your soul, drawing to it soul family members. And this means you can draw in spiritual friends if your friends have all gone away from you because you've shifted so much. You can draw in partners. You can draw in new business relationships. Wouldn't it be nice to be in business, to work with those who truly understand you and have the same kind of spiritual integrity as you do? Oh, this is very, very valuable. Om Karimba Namaha. Over and over, after you center, after you spend some time at the heart center, perhaps doing the Krishna mantra, the Om Klim Krishnaye Namaha, and then moving to the seat of the soul and vibrating out. Om Karimba Namaha. Bless you all. We're in for some exciting relationships. Tune in next week to hear me speak about death and dying.
Thanks again for listening to Cosmic Kick with your host, Adrian Wentworth. Make sure you join us live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Time here on the Seventh Wave Network.